Bread ties. Bread ties are anything that really closes a poly bag around a loaf of bread, and traditionally a sliced, loaf of bread. And bread ties vary greatly. There are, the most commonly seen on the market now are the, plastic quick lock tab. You have plastic ties, plastic cord twist ties, and then you have the very traditional metal cord twist tie. So common alternatives to bread ties are, I think more seen now than ever, that you have, say, a cellophane hermetic seal around your loaf of bread. And then you have a secondary bag, poly bag typically, that goes over that cellophane wrapped loaf of bread, and then would have a quick lock applied to it. Traditionally you would see just a loaf of bread in a poly bag with a twist tie, which the benefit there is that you have off the bat, although not hermetic seal, it is a very airtight seal with a metal cord tie. The benefit of the last item I mentioned, which is the cellophane covered loaf of bread, which is airtight, it's hermetic, and then you have your poly bag, is that you end up with a lot of waste. It's kind of cumbersome once you get down that loaf of bread, say down to your last 3-4 slices. Now you have a giant lump of cellophane inside of your poly bag with a quick lock that you may or may not want to use after, because really most people don't want to fumble around with a very kind of cumbersome sort of a post tie application to that bag. I really feel, honestly, in my long years working here at Plas-Ties, that the metal tie is really the superior closure for any bread bag. And of course, now we have the plastic cord twist tie, which is applied now by our Polytimatic for customers who are in the larger volume arena that want to deliver compliantly product to much larger scale customers. So common alternatives to bread ties. Well, the biggest obvious alternative is the bread clip. And what you see with the bread clip is on the market shelf, you have the ability to print on it and put your lot code, your batch code, and any other compliance information there. And quite often you see that bread clip coupled with the hermetic seal of a cellophane bag around that loaf of bread. So you end up with a lot of problems there. First thing is that with that cellophane bag, once you open that bag up and you start pulling your slices of bread off that loaf, you end up with a lot of excess material inside that bag, which is surrounding that cellophane, which is a poly bag. And that poly bag is then by the customer, then reclosed with the bag clip. Well, the bag clip, it really isn't a very good closure in respect to letting oxygen, preventing oxygen from coming into the bag. So now you have a large amount of oxygen that's in there because of the excess cellophane. And then you have a clip that's not very good at, keeping oxygen out. And as we all know, oxygen is the enemy of all food. With the twist tie, you start out with an airtight closure, and then you end up with an airtight closure after the fact once it's opened up for consumption. And since you don't have a cellophane bag inside that poly bag, that poly bag is able to compress right down to the loaf of bread, be closed up, much more easily, by the way, than a bread clip by the customer with a twist tie. And now Plas-Ties has really worked hard to meet the needs of the customer, just like the bag clip companies have, by implementing printers that can print real time directly onto the twist tie and provide all the information that the customer needs to be, one, compliant and provide information to the customer for freshness, and of course any brand identity that they might want onto that twist tie. A great example of a bread tie solution that Plas-Ties has implemented really goes into our customers that we've provided really good solutions for at the bakery level. Customers like Wegmans, H-E-B, and Sam's Club. They have their machine directly at the bakery, at the oven. Bread comes out, and they demand long-term freshness on the shelf. and they chose to go with Plas-Ties. Our machines are, very robust industrial machines that can stand up to high volumes of bread going in and out of the machine every single day, and really, provide a twist tie that is airtight and will deliver what they want, which is the freshest bread to their customers.